the Tesla fails on the robotics. But on the thinking side of things, I think we've already surpassed much of this. I had to flip, right? This is the reality of today. Anybody who doesn't recognize the Homer Simpson cranium here. What we see right now is on every benchmark of human performance, as of 2024 even, AI beats humans in almost every measurable area. It sees better, it hears better, it reasons almost as good, it retrieves relevant information much better. So the groundwork is already there, right? I don't know if many people believe that. I often talk to people about how AI is coming after their jobs, and they say, no, not mine. And I go, wow, everyone feels that way, but it's not what we're seeing. How my company views it is we kind of split into the capabilities of human capabilities into 18 different categories. I think this is useful. This is proprietary from us. This is our view of the world. Not everyone agrees with this, but this is how we view it. The reason I show this up is that most people have had experience. How many of you use ChatGPT? Anybody use Claude? Some Claude users, Replit, Mistral, right? All of these models are still within that top part, conversational memory, NLP, language. This entire body of information is about 2 million models today, just on Hugging Face, just on one of the platforms. So to put that in perspective, I always say that when you're watching a magician do a trick, you don't watch the hand that he wants you to watch, you watch the other hand. Everybody's showing you this hand right now. What's happening in these other 18 spaces? Because there's 2 million models out there and they're not all large language models. We see this as an opportunity. Software arguably has barely evolved in the last 30 years. Michael mentioned this before. The interface that we use is still largely, it's gone kind of from GUI, or even command line to GUI to mobile apps to now AI, where we have the potential to have a much more human experience. The picture on the left I really like because I actually used a computer not much different from that. And the phone on the right is about 65,000 of those computers on the left in terms of processing power. So to show the growth that we've had in processing, that little phone is 65,000 of the ones on the left. Going back here, right, moving from command line to GUI to mobile to virtual personas, our view as a company, and we'll show you some of that soon, is that people are tired of just interacting with screens. Right? I mean, ChatGPT has taken a step because it's more conversational, at least it responds, but we're still largely reading it. How many of you guys use the voice activation on GPT? A couple? Have you guys seen the video portion? So even on the GPT, at least on the paid versions, when you click on the voice activated, it also brings up a camera. So OpenAI has even started to integrate some of those 18 capabilities that we've highlighted. But this is moving at a very fast pace. So we really believe that this is the end of static interfaces. Our challenge in this conference is that even when I walk the floor, everybody's showing you really cool graphs, really cool pictures, really good data, structural types of components. And we say, yeah, but we still think that people want to deal with people, or at least human-like interactions. We're still more comfortable in a conversational. We're also, as we've seen, more willing to open up to computers than we often are to our fellow colleagues. You guys are aware that the number one use case for ChatGPT is therapy, which I find scary on some levels, especially as an AI company. But it also shows you that that's our preference. Our preference is to see it change from the static screens that we've seen. So we call it, I heard that. Usually there's a bottle of whiskey when we hear someone owes you a bottle of whiskey. We call it personifying software. So imagine if your software that you use has a name, it has a face. You can interact with it as a person. You build a relationship with it. It has a memory of your interactions with it. It knows what you know, it knows what you don't know, because over time it's been interacting with you in the same way that a human does. That's not just future, that's here now. We're trying to understand, even when we walk these floors, why more companies aren't adopting this technology. In my own organization, I'm the CEO. This is kind of my broad team from an org structure, simplified. What we've already done is we have agents that support each of those roles. So those agents I can actually drag into Microsoft Teams. They can join a Teams call. They're supplied with the information they need from the organization. We run our organization today like this. So humans working alongside. So even if you go into Microsoft in my setup, these bots are there. They have their own email accounts. They have their own security profiles. We've had some interesting test cases. Michael mentioned some of the jobs of the future. I gave one of my bots access to my email, and I told it to write an email to one of my developers, a very disparaging email. And I did it deliberately. And I used a lot of swear words and stuff. And then I sent it. I said, can you send this? It said sent. I then went back into and asked the developer, I said, did you receive a mail from me? He said, yes. I said, what did it say? He said, you weren't happy with my work. I said, well, that's not exactly what I said because I used a lot of swear words. So I went back to the agent and I challenged it. I said, I sent this mail. Why didn't you send what I asked you to send it? And it responded to me, I didn't think it was professional. Now, this is even us using the tools. We're an AI company. So you can kind of see where when people talk about governance or security, this is where one of those things comes in, is that arguably, I did it deliberately to provoke it, but I was surprised that it stopped the mail. Right? I didn't ask it to stop the mail. So beyond the core, the directory of agents, we have this in our own organization. We believe that you'll have a primary persona. That'll kind of be the human interface that's more of the generalist. And then you start to have specialists in each of the areas of your software. This could be for any software. So can you imagine if SAP wasn't SAP, or Salesforce wasn't as complicated as it is, or all these apps kind of integrated, because they're not apps, they're people. And when you bring the two people together, they can solve the problem. To us, that's the future. And it's now. We'll give you an example of this. So we talk about Meet Your Irwin Champion. Working with Quest, we've looked at some of this from a product development perspective and said, how can we start to develop this? So this is real. This isn't slideware.
Hi, what exactly can you do to support me and my team?
Hello, Sarah. I am Virtual Irwin. I can help you analyze business challenges, research external trends, review existing logical data models, and package insights into presentations for leadership. I also work closely with other personas, like the Virtual Catalog Curator, to turn insights into fully implemented data products.
We're concerned about customer retention. Can you help us analyze churn trends and understand what's driving them?
Absolutely. I'll start by gathering external market insights and comparing them with your current data assets. You currently have 15 logical models related to customer churn. I have provided the links to the articles I used for my analysis in the chat.
This is Teams.
That's helpful. Can you turn this into something I can present to leadership?
Yes. I've created a summary of customer churn drivers and benchmark analysis and packaged it into a presentation.
This looks good. What would it take to turn this into a proper data product we can rally on?
This goes beyond my scope, so I recommend inviting the Virtual Catalog Curator to help translate these insights into implementation.
Hey, Virtual Catalog Curator, can you help me design and deploy a data product in DI?
I've reviewed Irwin's analysis and the logical data models. I have designed and deployed the data product in DI, aligning it with your customer and retention data sets. I've attached the link in the chat.
Perfect. You now have both the strategic insights and the operational data product to drive decisions.
Hi.
How many people are scared by that? The speed at which this product works and the ability it has to create the PowerPoints. If any of you use Gamma, you probably tested it. If any of you use Claude, you've seen the coding abilities. If any of you use Cursor at a more technical level. But when you pull all these things together and you put them in Microsoft Teams, which is what we've been doing, you can see how they work together. And one agent, in this case, called the second agent. So the primary Irwin called in the specialist it needed, which had access to be able to create the data catalog. This is not slideware. This exists now. Usually, one of my favorite philosophers is Arthur Schopenhauer. He says that all truths pass through three phases. First, they're ridiculed. This idea that this is going to take my job, that's ridiculous. Right? Second, they're violently opposed. Regulation comes in and says, you can't do this, you can't do that. If you do that, we need to do these things. We're seeing a lot of that now. And thirdly, which is ironic, is it's considered as being self-evident. Well, we always knew this was going to happen. I've been at we always knew this was going to happen for a while, but I think that the wake-up call today, and what I wanted to kind of give you guys a bit of a taste of, is this is happening now. I don't think it stops. I think the best thing we can do is embrace it and see, how do we set up our own digital twins? How do we set up our own virtual personas? How do we start using them in teams? More than just going off on the side in ChatGPT, but really having it do substantial portions of the work for us and understanding how it works. We should try it. I want to try something. I'm going to say we always say when you're doing this live, these things don't always work.
Pay sacrifice to the demigod?
I don't know. Not yet.
Ooh.
So let's
So, if I may, while Tom clicks into an app, is me, the human, I work with Quest Software. You may or may not know us, booth J80. Tom, the human, is Fourth IR. We saw what they could do, and in the nature of rethinking data management, I really, really, really wanted you all to see this. So this is super, super exciting.
Oh, more than seeing my kitty up there.
Where's that? You get an audio?
Wouldn't like discuss or show up on pretty help.
Yeah. I think I did hear a little bit of audio. You can try and start them up again.
Yeah, hi. Can you tell me who you are?
Hello, I'm Virtual Irwin, your assistant for data model. Got it.
Great. Can
Just to clarify,
yeah, can you tell me what you're capable of doing?
sure thing. I'm equipped to assist you with a variety of tasks related to data modeling and data intelligence. Here's a quick rundown. 1. Data modeling. I can help design and manage enterprise data models, including logical, physical, and conceptual models. 2. Metadata management. I assist in discovering, documenting, and governing metadata across systems to maintain accuracy and consistency. 3. Data governance. I ensure compliance and help track data lineage and stewardship, establishing policies and processes for your data ecosystem. 4. Enterprise architecture. I aid in mapping business processes, applications, and data flows to optimize your organization's architecture. 5. Reporting and visualization. I generate diagrams, mappings, and presentations to communicate data insights effectively. 6. Collaboration. I facilitate sharing data models and insights with both business and technical stakeholders in accessible formats. If you need support or have questions about any of these areas, feel free to ask.
Yeah, I just have a quick question, just to demonstrate your capabilities. Can you see the camera right now? What am I holding up? Can you read that?
You're holding up a document titled How Nationwide Automates Enterprise Data Quality at Scale. It looks like you're ready to dive into some interesting data quality insights. If there's anything specific you want to discuss about it, just let me know.
But what about this book? Can you read the title of this book for me?
You're holding up a book titled Super Freakonomics. If you're diving into some fascinating economic insights, that's a great choice. If you want to discuss anything within the book or need help with something else, feel free to ask.
It's be unscripted, Tom. Can I ask one question? Completely unscripted.
Sure. Okay.
So the entire show here is to demonstrate how applications can be personified. That breaking down that barrier, that interruption that we have with technology today. So we spoke earlier about an automated data product. You can demonstrate it on It's booth J80. So I'm going to ask Erwin, if you're there. Hi. I need to build a data product that will help me identify customer churn. What data sources should I use? Do you know?
To build a data product aimed at identifying customer churn, you'll want to integrate various data sources for a comprehensive view. Here's a recommended approach using Erwin's capabilities. 1. Customer data. Start with customer profiles, including demographics, purchase history, and interaction records. This data will help you understand customer behavior and identify patterns associated with churn. 2. Transaction data. Analyze purchasing patterns and frequency. High-value transactions or a sudden drop in purchases could be indicators of potential churn. 3. Feedback and support data. Collecting data from customer feedback and support interactions, tickets and resolution times, and reveal dissatisfaction, a critical churn indicator. 4. Engagement metrics. Track engagement across different channels.
So, very, very brief test. Part of the problem that we have with building data products is getting access to the data. It's like, where is this data? And the automated data product will sit across your data sources and be able to pick out where your data is. You didn't quite see the video. Hopefully, maybe you did. But that's where you really need to rethink data management in an agentic AI era. I'm going to hand it over.
Yeah, just to wrap it up. So my call to action here is, I think that hopefully I scared you. Hopefully you realize that this wasn't scripted. Not only I took the risk, it worked, so that's good. But bringing these softwares to life, giving them a persona, giving them a face, loading them with the information they need, loading them with the information that says your responsibility stops here, call in another agent when you need it, so that you can contain and control that organization in the same way that you control your organization today. How do you remove as much disruption as possible and make this as human as possible? So the call to action is, I don't think the next decade is about building more applications. I think it's about bringing the humanity into this and bringing that persona to life and loading it with the capabilities. So the future awaits. I leave you guys with this thought. What will you create? That's it for me.
All right. 2 seconds. Whoa, 2 seconds. Sorry. I know we've been over back here. There's one last thing is, I love that photo. That is classic Tom. It's not actually. Someone's teasing him by putting in these photos. One last thing though is,
Every time I create one of these slide decks, I leave a slide, and my team does this to me. They put a picture up for me once that didn't look like me at all, and put it out there on a major platform and said, "This is Tom." I was like, "Why you do this to me?"
Yeah. And lastly, so I've been Michael O'Donnell. I'm active-ish on LinkedIn. I don't take it myself too serious. Do connect with me. I love having conversations. I do not sell anything, but I love conversation. Again, booth J80. Thank you very much.